back to another video on Third Act Romance. Today's video is going to be a bit different. Usually I take 3 different places or 3 different animals and speak about them. But today I'm going to be focusing on one specific place. That place is in Alaska. That's right, Alaska. In case you weren't aware, Alaska is the largest USA state and is also very lowly populated. Alaska was bought from Russia by USA in 1859 for a very low cost. The reason why it was so low in cost prices is because the place is very uninhabitable. The same continues today too. Only 738,000 people live in Alaska. This may seem like a lot, but is actually very less for its landmass. Now, I'm not going to be talking about Alaska in general. You heard, like I said, I'm going to be talking about one specific place in Alaska. This place's name is called Barrow. Barrow is the northernmost city of the entire American landmass. It is situated right there on the peak tip of Alaska. Only 4,200 people live here due to the extreme weather conditions. Did you know that if you went to Barrow during summer, it would actually be 8 degrees Celsius. So you would never get to experience anything except jackets. That's why I said very less people live over here, specifically 4,200. In winter, it dips below 0 degrees Celsius. In summer too, it dips below 0 degrees Celsius and it will snow in summer. For 160 days, the temperature will remain below 0 degrees Celsius and will not go above it. Once the sun sets in winter, it does not rise for another 65 days. So say bye-bye to the sun, you won't be seeing it for another 2 months. The reason for this is because of the tilt of the earth on its axis. In case you weren't aware, an axis is basically the same as an equator except going from north to south instead of east to west. This period where the sun goes down below the horizon is known as a long polar night. Like I said, this is winter. But in summer, you get the absolute opposite. For 80 days, you see nothing but sunshine. This doesn't mean that it's going to be cold though. This doesn't mean that it's going to be warm though. The temperature still will dip below 0 degrees Celsius. So the sun does not make much of a difference. This period where the sun is shown for 80 days is known as a long midnight sun. Now, if you go a bit more northern than Barrow, you'll find a small tip. That tip is known as Point Barrow, and it is the utmost peak of the entire American landmass. Now I'm sure you're wondering, if you wanted to go more northern, can't you just go to the Canadian islands? I mean, that is part of America, North America as a whole, isn't it? Actually, I said it's part of the American landmass. A landmass is basically an entire connected piece of land. And islands, as the definition states, is a place surrounded by water on all sides. So it couldn't be part of a landmass, could it? So, if you wanted to go further north, you could always go to the Canadian landmass. But if you wanted to go there is a specific slot in the summertime for 2 weeks at most where you can go by ship. Otherwise, the seas are utmost frigid and solid, so you cannot go by boat much. Speaking of travel, everything in Barrow is very expensive since they only get shipments once a year. Specifically not shipments. There are no roads to or from Barrow. So everything that the whole city of Barrow needs comes by either plane or boat. Boats only take specific things like cars, while everything else, including mail, comes by plane. So since the limited supply is short, everything in Barrow is very expensive as everything has to be flown over here. Let's talk people. The people in Barrow have to be moderately rich to survive over here since everything is expensive. They live in close houses packed to each other. Since the sun goes down for 65 days, the whole city is extremely well lit. Like I said, the houses are close to each other, so imagine 3 houses very close to each other. For every 3 houses, there's 1 lamp. So during the 65 days, the whole city is lit. The people not only buy food over here, they also hunt, as you can imagine. They hunt whales, seals, walrus, etc. This doesn't say that they only eat meat. This city even has 5 restaurants and 1 large hotel, including 2 restaurants being Mexican, 1 Chinese, and the hotel has so much diversity. You can get anything from there, from monkey brains to curly fries. So in case I've convinced you to visit Barrow, hope you can take some pictures and send some to me too. So with these facts, I would like to conclude today's video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.